Hi guys, I wanted to do a review of my currently inked pens for the month of July before I switch everything over for the month of August. I always struggle with these review type videos because things change so much for my currently inked throughout the month. And especially this month, that was quite true. So I never can go back and give things like a rating, writing it down because I rarely have the same pens inked up at the end of the month as I do at the beginning. But I still want to talk about them because I think that's a really fun part of this hobby is experiencing how things go together and how they worked and how you liked them. I love hearing that from everyone else. So I'm just going to quickly go through, and if I have a writing sample of that particular pen and ink, I'll show it. But overall, I wrote dry a lot of pens this month. Throughout the month too, I wrote dry Diamine Bucks Fizz in the Jinhao 100, Taranishi Guitar Nostalgic Honey in the Jinhao 82, Monteverde Key Lime Pie in the Jinhao 82, Ferris Wheel Press Grand Central Skies plus Key Lime Pie in a Jinhao 82. I wrote dry Parrotfish and then I refilled it. I changed Pilot Cioro and Van Diemen's Parrotfish to a different ink. I wrote dry Ferris Wheel Press Sugar and Spite, the mix of Yamabudo, Plum Nut, and Daddy Longlegs in the Pilot Kakuno, Diatramentis Alexander Hamilton, Birmingham Pen Company, Sandstone and Airline, Ferris Wheel Press Knitted Nettle, Taranishi Opera Rose. So all of those I wrote dry, except for that Zodiac Pen Co. that I changed the ink in. So that was really good for me. I mean, they were not all inked fully by any means, but it's always a good feeling for me to write them dry. My favorites out of those, I think I would definitely say Monteverde Key Lime Pie was a favorite, and that was inked up for a couple months. I think that was inked in maybe the end of May or early June. I loved this combination. I love this color. I had to fight really hard not to re-ink it because it is just such a good combo. It was wet flowing. It was legible. The color is just so pretty and happy and bright. Let's see if I have a writing sample of that one. I do. I don't have as many writing samples as I would like because a lot of my writing was done in my personal journal, which I don't really want to show. And not a lot in my planner, surprisingly. I only have a few colors that I reused in there a few times, the pink Diamine Sweet Dreams I used in my planner a lot. But this is from my transcribing / Bible study journal. So that is a sample of Key Lime Pie. Ferris Wheel Press Sugar and Spite was another favorite. That was in the Asvine P or V126, and I re-inked it with a different ink after that ran dry, but I really like Sugar and Spite a lot. And let's see if I have a sample of that. I should. Maybe I should just show the samples at the end, huh? I guess do I not? That's absolutely wild. I thought I did. Yes, here it is. So here is Sugar and Spite. Now in person, I can see the shimmer easily, but on camera, I don't think it's really picking it up. It did have some shading in that Asvine. You can see in the strokes of the letters, there is some shading. Not a lot because it's a dark ink, but in person it's definitely more visible as well. So yeah, really like that one. That Asvine is super juicy. I think it's probably going to work well with any ink, but especially for shimmer inks, it seems to be fabulous. What was another favorite? The mix of Yamabudo, Plum Nut, and Daddy Longlegs in the Pilot Kakuno Fine was so good too. Primarily because I'm just loving the fineness of the Pilot nib, but also how juicy it is at the same time. I'm really coming to appreciate that kind of sharp feeling of a really fine nib, but it has to be like really wet. Otherwise, I don't want it. I do not want a dry pen in any shape or size. So yeah, this one was really nice. I enjoyed that a lot. Diatramentis Alexander Hamilton in the Sailor LaCool Pearl. Not only do I think this is such a beautiful pen, but it's the same kind of thing. It has a very fine point, but is very comfortable and juicy to write with. Like, it never feels like it's dragging. It never feels like, you know, nails on a chalkboard. Ugh, I hate that. Sorry for even saying it. It just feels so good. It just feels great. This ink does look very dark on paper. Like, if I was just looking at it at a glance, I might think it was black. It looks more purple on camera as I'm looking at the both of them. But it is a very nice lubricated ink. I really like it. Gail sent this to me as a sample in a trade, and I still have some, and I'm kind of hoarding it because I don't want to run out. But I really am enjoying that ink a lot, or enjoyed that ink a lot. The other one was Ferris Wheel Press Knitted Nettle. I wrote with that so much, and it's such a pretty, oh, I dropped my book. Such a pretty ink with its rose gold shimmer you can see there. It flowed really well in the Jinhao 100. I was very impressed with both Jinhao 100s that I had inked up. The other one was Bucks Fizz. They both did extremely well with their shimmer inks, and they both wrote extremely wet, even though one was an extra fine and one was a fine. That was kind of surprising to me how well they did. So yeah, that was a favorite. Let's see. Teranishi Opera Rose was definitely a favorite. Let's see if I have that. I'm sure I do. I'll flip through those in a second. But that wrote really well. I love that color. It flowed really well in the Hongdian. Diamine Masquerade was a favorite. That one's still going. I am obsessed with this combo. I am going to clean it out for next month, but against my own half will because I really, really like that. And then the last favorite was the Zodiac Pen Company in Gemini. This pen is so comfortable. It just feels so good. I like that this one's like a little bit girthier, even though I don't think the grip section is bigger than the Virgo, but I could be wrong. But I don't know. I just really love the way it felt to hold and write with this pen. The ink that was in it, though, was this Blurple mix. At first, throughout the first half of the month, it did really well. And then towards the end of the month, I will show you this one. This is the last writing sample I have. You can see that it started off strong, and then it just got lighter and lighter, and it felt like I was dragging down here. I did not like that feeling. And then even at the bottom, you can see how light it got. I don't know why it did this, because I'm pretty sure it's the Dominant Industry Sunset ink. That ink just, I can't get it to perform the way that I want it to by itself or mix with others, because this is a mix. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I can't imagine what else it would have been. I mean, this pen has an awesome flow. It is great with shimmer. So yeah, I don't know, but that's okay. I'm going to ink it up again next month. It wasn't the pen at all. It was definitely something with the ink. That ink, I think, is just really dry. And then I think it's one of the shimmer inks that's just like a difficult shimmer ink. So I don't even know if I'm going to like continue using it. And that's unfortunate because I have like half a bottle left. But so that's that. I did ink up other pens throughout the month. I inked up these three. I ended up sending this Majan Wankai Mini back to Amazon because I just didn't like the nib. There was something about it. I feel like it was probably misaligned a little bit. It was cute, but it wasn't worth $20 to me. I uninked the Kobe 61 on the 21st because I wasn't using it as much, and it felt like a little bit too light in writing. I know it doesn't look that light here, but when I would write with it, I just wasn't loving it. But I do want to try it again at a different time. I think it was just like the place that I was at with my pens. I just wasn't into it at that moment. This one, I changed the ink because I think this Ferris Wheel Press Green with Curiosity was clogging up this Asvine a little bit. It just wasn't flowing nicely. So I did change that one to a different color. There was a lot of other changes too. And it would just take me forever to go over those, and I don't want to bore you guys. But yeah, overall, I was so happy with this month. I love the range of colors that I had. Next month, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be using the Robert Oster inks that I have. So I've seen other people do this where they'll use like one brand of ink or one brand of pen for a month. And I just think that sounds like something new and interesting to do rather than just picking colors, you know. I thought it would be cool just to try all one brand, and I'm hoping to do it again like next month and subsequent months. Like I'd like to do all my Diamine inks, all my KWZ inks, all my Colorverse inks, things like that. I just think it would be cool. But we'll see how it goes. But next month I'm going to be doing all my Robert Oster inks. So I wanted to film this today so that we could have a record of it. So yeah, there was a lot of change, but I really enjoyed everything for the most part. And let's look at some writing samples. So yes, here is Birmingham Pen Company Sandstone. This was another favorite. I forgot to say this one. This one was incredible in this gorgeous TWSBI Sailor Pro Gear Slim Mini with a 14 karat gold nib, medium fine. And Sherry from Sherry Rose Plans sent this to me as a gift, and I was just so over the moon about it, and I still am. I really love it. I think this is my favorite Sailor, to be honest, that I have. I have 3 now that have the 14K nibs. And I just love it so, so much. And in combination with Sandstone, oh my goodness, I love this ink. I said it in my last video, I think. Birmingham Pen Company is not selling it right now, so I'm now really trying to hoard this sample. But so nice and wet. It just felt so good writing with it. It flowed really well. Also another like really fine nib. So, oh, I just loved it so much. Let's see. Here is a sample of Diamine Masquerade. Such a beautiful combination. You can see the shimmer there. In the extra fine TWSBI, this was Diamine Spiced Apple before I added the Royal Rhubarb, but still a gorgeous ink. Flows really well. It has a good shimmer, like it's an easygoing shimmer. It's not too hard to work with. Here is the Azure Kingfisher and the Benu. That was another favorite. Oh my gosh, I had so many favorites. This was such a great combination. Look at all that shimmer. That Benu Schmidt nib is one of my favorites. It's so wonderful. I love it so much. Here is the Pelikan Edelstein Mandarin in the 1K Mini. I really did like the color of this ink. I'm going to have to buy another sample of it. Here is the Kobe 61 in the Asvine P20 Pink. And again, I like this ink a lot. I just wasn't as in love with it as I wanted to be. So I put it back in the sample vial, and I am going to try it again. I did change the Nostalgic. Once I ran out of the Nostalgic Honey, I put in Diatramentis Apricot again. I used this a few months ago, and I really love it. I think it might be my favorite yellow. Here is that Van Diemen's Parrotfish. Now, this one has shimmer, but it is very subtle. Like, even with my eyes, it's hard to see. But I do like the color blue that it is. I think it's a pretty blue. Here is Diamine Tropical Glow, which when I ran out of the Azure Kingfisher, I put this in the Benu Talisman, which is another good match for it, but I still like Azure Kingfisher better. And I like it. I like Tropical Glow a lot. And then this was that Blurple mix that got really dry. Okay, so I thought I had more. Yes, okay, here is the Bucks Fizz, which was mixed with like a different orange that was still in the pen, I think. I can't remember now. So I think Bucks Fizz is a lot lighter than this, but this was in the Jinhao 100. I'm trying to show the shimmer, but you cannot see it, but it's there, and it's really pretty. Oh, here is the Grand Central Skies with Key Lime Pie and the Jinhao 82. That was wonderful. Really pretty color. I want to get Diamine Soft Mint because I think it's going to be similar to this. And then here's Parrotfish again. I really did like this one. I wrote with it quite a bit. Here is that combo of Pilot Iroshizuku Seoro and Parrotfish. Here was that Blurple mix, like when it was writing really well. See how different that is? Like it is so, so beautiful. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, here is that. And it was really pretty. And I like the line width of that fine nib. I love the way that it wrote. Just really pretty. Here is that Pilot Yamabudo mix. Here is Azure Kingfisher. Look at all that shimmer. Oh, so pretty. Lovely blue. Here is the Grand Central Skies again. Here's the Key Lime Pie. Pilot Iroshizuku Ajisai. Oh, this must have been from a couple months ago. But here was Rainbow's End. That was also inked up for a couple months. And here's a writing sample of that. It still had a little bit, but I uninked it last month. Here is that Sugar and Spite again. I uninked Rainbow's End just because I wanted a change in some of my pens, and I was cleaning out the other ones that had ran dry. So I just decided to unink it. So there was nothing wrong with it. It was also a great combination in this TWSBI Diamond with a medium nib. Okay, so now without much further ado, let's show you guys the pens that I still have inked up. I have inked up 12 pens right now. So this is what I've been working with for like the last week or so. This is the Diamine Sweet Dreams combo. And it was mixed with Yozakura in the Sailor Pro Gear Slim. And I love this so much. I am going to be, there's only this much left. I think I'm going to keep this one inked. So I'm going to do Robert Oster inks, but I'm going to do a few carryovers from what I still have inked right now, just because I don't want to be done with them yet. So yeah, loving this combination. It is so, so nice. The other one is I mixed Diamine Tranquility with Urban Bouquet d'Antan. And it came out to this beautiful, like, light lavender. And I love it. So this pen had the mix of, it was a green mix. What was in here? Oh, I forget now. J. Urban, Vert Empire, and Diamine Salamander. That was what was in here. But I knew that I wasn't using it, and I knew that I probably wouldn't want to use that type of color until fall, probably, because it's such a fall color. So I just put it in a sample vial to use later, and I inked this one up. And I'm so happy that I did, because this is definitely more up my alley right now. So this is a TWSBI Eco Smoke Rose Gold with a fine nib. It is just such a pretty color. You cannot really see the shimmer in this one too well, and that's fine with me. I just love the lavender pinky color of it. And then in the Asvine V126, when the Sugar and Spite ran out, I re-inked it with Diamine Tranquility by itself. And this is such another good combo. Like, this pen seriously handles shimmer inks so, so well. It's just smooth. It feels so smooth, like a Pilot smooth. It's well flowing. Like, This one shows off the shimmer a lot. I'll try and show you when it's fully dry. But yeah, love that one. Then in the Benu, which I love so, so much. Does anybody know, do any other pens have Schmidt nibs like this? Because I am really a fan of the way that these write. This one has Rohrer and Klingner. Cassia. So I've been feeling like I really want to use my bottled inks and not just let them sit there and be unused. So this is one of my bottled inks, and I thought that would be a perfect match to the purple in the pen. It's a great ink. It's a very wet ink. It's bright. I love it. There's just nothing wrong with that ink. I love it so much. And it's a great combo in that pen. So then we have the P20. So I got this originally in an extra fine nib. And the tines of the extra fine were really tight. And I tried to like open them up a little bit with the brass shims, but it didn't really work. And on the upstrokes, it was like super dry. So anytime I would be writing, you know, inevitably you have to do an upstroke here and there. And it just made the whole writing experience like a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit dry. So I ended up ordering the pack of the replacement nibs for the Azvines. And I got an extra fine, fine, and medium. I tried the extra fine that it came with. And same kind of thing. I don't know if it was as tight, but it just didn't feel good. It didn't feel like the ink was flowing. It just felt really dry. So I put on a fine nib on here. And that is going well. I feel like this one might have a touch of baby's bottom. It does have hard starts, even while I'm writing from time to time. See, like right there. And it doesn't feel like it's misaligned. I bet it has baby's bottom because these are like so smooth. I bet it's over polished. But it's okay. It's not bothering me too much at this point. It is a really wet writer. It's a great writer. It's a smooth writer. That's the only thing with it. So yeah, I'm kind of bummed about that. I really like this pen. And I mean, like I tried 3 different nibs and they were all just like not really what I wanted. The other one, the pink one that has a fine nib, I really like that nib. So I don't know. I still like Azvines, but I was a little disappointed with that. And that has the Aurora Borealis. This one is the TWSBI Mini, and this has the Diatramentis Apricot, which again is one of my favorite yellows, if not my favorite yellow. It's just so bright. I just love it. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. It's wet. It flows really well. This is a good combo. This is a nice wet pen too. So love that. Then what I changed, this is I had the Pilot Sierra and Parrotfish in it. And I switched it to Robert Oster Rose Gold Antiqua. So I'm going to be keeping this one inked since it's Robert Oster month. And I love this combo. Oops, Robert Oster Antiqua. Ugh. Rose Gold Antiqua. This ink has clogged a couple of my other pens, but with this one, it's beautiful. It is so perfect. This is the Virgo model, and it's in red abalone. And it has a fine nib. Yeah, it is like super wet and juicy in this pen. And I like the way that it matches. It's just been really, really nice writing experience with that. Here is my new baby, my gorgeous Zodiac Penco in Cancer in Primary Manipulation Light. I love this pen. And I inked it up when I got it with Brunch Date, but I just thought, oh, that's such kind of like a boring color for this beautiful pen. So I put in Platinum Lavender Black, and I love it. I only put in a tiny bit, so there's only a tiny bit left. And so I am going to change the ink for Robert Ostermonth, but I really do like this ink. It is well flowing. It doesn't feel lubricated like some of the other lubricated inks feel. It does feel like kind of like watery-ish, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but it still flows really well. It doesn't have that consistency that I love the best, but it still flows really well, and it's a pretty color. So I've been enjoying that. Then we have the Diamine Masquerade, which only has that much left. That's why I'm like really kind of debating myself of whether or not I should unink it and use something else for Robert Ostermonth, or just continue using it. I love this combo so much. It is such a gorgeous color and it flows so well. But I think I did put White Lightning in this when I first got it, maybe. I don't know why. I think it was probably an impulsive, like, silly decision because I don't really know if I think it would need it. But anyways, I'm going to get a full bottle of it soon. This is Smoke Rose Gold. Yeah, it feels really good. It's just such a gorgeous color too. I don't know if you can see that shimmer. Yeah, a little bit. So pretty. Then in the Cafe Bronze, I ended up putting KWZ Honey because the combo of the Toffee and Queenstown Gold Mine was just not working. The Queenstown Gold Mine was clogging it for sure. And again, I have a bottle of KWZ Honey, so I was like, I want to use my bottles. Let me just put some in here. And it's been wonderful. It is another really good ink, just easy to work with, flows really well, pretty. So that's been a good combination. Then in my baby mini here, I did run out of sandstone, much to my sadness, and I decided to try Diamine Weeping Willow from the Ink Vent. And I'm so pleasantly surprised that it is really nice in here. And it actually reminds me of like a lighter version of sandstone. Sailor, Pro Gear, Slim, Mini. I am going to be uninking this for this upcoming month. I don't know how much is in here. Yeah, there's a bit, like you can see. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but there's like an air bubble there. There's a bit. It's probably half of this little baby cartridge, but or converter, I mean. But I have a whole bottle of that Weeping Willow, and I can't see myself like using it too often. So I'm okay with putting this back in the bottle and just using it at a later time. And then the other thing was I did get this one on Prime Day. This is the Lamy LX in Palladium. And it looks really silver on camera, but it does have that kind of mauve-y, like slightly brown tinge that makes it look, I don't know, more like a warmer color. It's not just straight silver, which is why I like it, because I don't love straight silver by itself. But this has like a very pearl kind of look. I don't know if you can tell. But anyways, I put it with Sailor Kitsune Biore. And I did add a little bit of White Lightning to that because it felt really dry at first. Right now, it's writing really well. I am going to clean it out though and do something else for this month, but I do like that combination, and I have, you know, quite a bit left of that. So I'm not afraid of, you know, cleaning it out and just using the rest of my sample at another time. So that is what I have going on right now and for the last week or so. I am enjoying it. I am enjoying this. I like having like this many pens inked I found. I normally have a lot more inked. And for August, I will have more than this because this is 12 pens. And I'm definitely going to keep the Tranquility. I'm going to keep the Cassia. I was going to keep the Sweet Dreams, but now I'm not sure. And then I don't know if I'm keeping Masquerade. So, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 inks of Robert Oster that I have. So I'll probably end up around 12 to 14. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching. I would love to hear any thoughts. Let me know if you like this kind of review. I wish I could do a better review like a lot of other people do, but this is what I have. So talk to you later.